Hi there. If you're watching this video, you're probably interested in applying to the ASFM chapter of the National Honor Society. And so I'm going to show you and explain the application process and all the information you might need. Please note that the National Honor Society membership is only for students from grades 9 to grades 12. Now, the first question that I want to talk about is, what is the National Honor Society? It's a program that's developed in the United States and is worldwide in international schools, American schools, that aims to bring together students who exhibit the four pillars of NHS. The four pillars are leadership, character, scholarship, and service. And then the NHS Faculty Council will be looking specifically for students who already exhibit these particular traits. The membership in the National Honor Society represents the best students that any ASFM can develop. So now I can talk about the application process for you and show you how it works. There are two parts to the application process. Part one is called pre-qualification, and its deadline is March 21st, 2014. Pre-qualification is where you will send your student ID, your full name, and your email address. You'll fill that out on an online form at this URL, tinyurl.com/NHS-applicant. So you go to that website and you fill in this information right here, the student ID, your full name, and your email address. And as the head advisor, I will use PowerSchool to review the following for pre-qualification. I'm going to be looking that you can demonstrate a commitment to scholarship by your CGPA, which is in PowerSchool. You need to have a CGPA, which means cumulative grade point average from grade 9 on of 90% or better. So it's not just 1 year, it's cumulative across the number of years you've been in our high school. The second thing that I'll be looking for, and is very important, is a demonstration of commitment to service. And we use the CSL hours here at ASFM. Those CSL hour minimums are different for each grade level, but because the National Honor Society, we do not give hours for doing service work, which we do a lot of, we need to make sure that you are committed to service, and we also need to make sure that your CSL hours are not really going to be a problem later on as well. And so we expect by April 11th that any student in grade 9 would have a minimum of 40 hours. Any grade 10 student would have a minimum of 70, or any grade 11 student would have a minimum of the graduation requirement of 100 hours. So you can see we're asking for a full year's commitment above the grade level you're in already. Now that is our pre-qualification stage. Then we can get to the application itself. So after I have reviewed those things, and if you meet the requirements, you'll get a personal online NHS application, and a link will be sent to your email address on Monday, March 24th. So if you qualify with your CGPA and your CSL hour minimums by the deadline, you will receive your application. If you don't pre-qualify, you will receive an email explaining why, with some suggestions of how you could improve your chances for next year. So that's the pre-qualification. The second part is the application process itself, which has a deadline of April 11th, 2014. This is right before Semana Santa this year. The online NHS application is a form much like a resume you would submit to a job. The NHS Faculty Council will evaluate the information you put into this form very carefully, so be meticulous when you put your information in. The pieces that they're going to be looking for, or what's inside the application, are from A to H here. The first thing is the form is going to collect some demographic information like your home address and cell phone number, etc. Then it's going to give you 4 or 5 spots for you where you can demonstrate your leadership. you'll get 4 or 5 spots to demonstrate what service you've done, what student activities you've done, and what community activities you've done. You'll also get 4 or 5 spots, again, for any work experience or any recognition or awards you've received. The form will ask for 3 teacher endorsements, so 3 teachers who will be willing to say nice things about you, essentially, if the NHS Faculty Council asked about you, and the name of the NHS member who's writing a reference letter on your behalf. So this has to be a current NHS member, so you beforehand have to actually talk to an NHS member and have them agree to write a reference letter on your behalf. They will submit it separately, so you don't have to worry about that. And then finally, there is a 500-word essay, which is your personal response question of why you should be accepted into NHS. So this is very much like a job application, and I can't stress enough of how meticulous you should be when you input this information on the online form, because the Faculty Council may not even know who you are, and they will only be able to evaluate the information that you give them. So it's got to be well done. When that is collected, and remember, the deadline for that would be April 11, 2014, what the NHS Faculty Council will do is they will review your CGPA, your online application information, your CSL hours. They will have received your reference letter, and they will survey we will survey your teachers, past and present, for their opinion as well. When all that is collated, those students who meet the standards set by ASFM NHS Faculty Council will get their name called in the induction ceremony on May 21st, 2014. So this is the basic process. Keep in mind it's 2 steps. The first step is very simple. All you have to do is go to this website right here and give us your ID, full name, and email address, and I will personally check for your pre-qualification. Step 2, if you qualify, is this process, and you'll have till April 11th to gather all this information and input it into the form. If you have any questions, please contact Mr. Brambold at the school.